Good morning. We are sitting here at the 50th International Congress for Medieval Studies in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm Erin Lynch with the Medieval Institute at Western Michigan University, and I'm sitting here today with Dr. Luke Demaitre, a visiting professor at the School of Medicine at the University of Virginia. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. So I want to start by asking you, as a medievalist and historian who teaches medical students at Virginia, can you talk a little bit about the value of teaching the Middle Ages and the medieval world to STEM students, that is science, technology, engineering, math, and medical in your case?
Well, I can tell you, first off, that I have learned more from them than they have learned from me, because they bring to it an experience. Most of these students have already been on rotation. I had one surgeon who had served in Afghanistan, who was an orthopedist, and who gave a paper, a report, it's a seminar, gave a paper on fractures in the Middle Ages. So he did his research in medieval documents, but he also brought to it his own experience as a surgeon in the field. And that was, for me, one of the highest experiences one can have in teaching, to have life and books combined. I have had students who concentrate in obstetrics share what they had done in poor areas in Guatemala, in Venezuela, share what they had seen there with what they did in research on poor women in the Middle Ages. And again, you can connect poverty across the board. So it gives you such a human dimension, working with people who have real experience, who then in addition, it's an elective, so they take history of medicine because they want to. They could take Spanish or accounting, and they take medieval or history of medicine. The problem is that they have limited time. They're looking for houses because they're going to go into residence. They are linguistically handicapped. They are also, so used now to reading these articles, speed reading these articles, so that's become a little bit more and more of a handicap as time goes on. But from their side, they soak it up. They want to go farther back, they want perspective. They say, tell us about the first universities of medicine, tell us about surgery when it began. They are the first to be willing to be convinced that it wasn't all brutish, nasty and short. They really want to see the positive. And that's been such, I've done it for 18 years, and they have been the best years of my teaching life. Because again, that combination of these people are not scholars. These are people dealing with humans. And so they bring me back to that human dimension. And work on leprosy, really, you cannot do in a void, you cannot do in a vacuum. And even though they have never been faced with leprosy, they can associate with, for example, AIDS. They can see these modern diseases that are feared, that are supposedly contagious, that are excluding people from society.
So on that note, you wrote an article a few years ago connecting leprosy with our modern social perceptions of AIDS over the last 30 years or so. Do you think that's where the field of the history of medicine is going, in this, that is connecting the medieval to the modern?
In one way, yes. I really think we should have perspective. I really think we should see the broader spread of humanity. Human nature being what it is will always be the same. In another way, I'm cautious and apprehensive and concerned with the risk of retrospective diagnosis. That then we say, you see, it's the same all over again. It's not the same. There are differences, and that's what I did in the article. There are similarities with regard to responses to AIDS, as there were with responses to leprosy. People imagine things before they know what they are. Officials play games, keeping the truth from people. So there are similarities, but the differences are, I think, enormous too. And so the danger is, for example, leprosy was supposed to be sexually transmitted. And that's was sort of what one interviewer asked me, isn't AIDS the same? Wasn't leprosy sexually transmitted? I said that was a very small item in a whole bundle of fears and prejudices and assumptions.
That's great, thank you. So that, is kind of the work you've done in the past. What are you doing now, and what are you looking to do in the future?
At the moment, it's really exciting. I'm a member of a team out of Bordeaux that is working on doctors' examinations of lepers, pretty much through the 17th century. And I have, over my years of research on leprosy, I have accumulated about 500 doctor certificates. And so my participation in the team is to digest, to also digitize where possible, to tabulate these certificates where doctors said this person is leprous, therefore has to be isolated. This person is not leprous, therefore should be allowed to go free. Or, and what I have found in the majority of cases, is doctors saying, we're not sure. That to me is a real interesting thing.
Right.
That doctors admit, listen, come back in 6 months. Leprosy was not a black and white, open and shut case.
Right.
And so I'm working with these members of that team out of Bordeaux. They will do leprosy across the board, archaeology, paleopathology, literature, cliches. I'm working strictly, as I did with my book, what physicians did and said, because they reflect the fears of people, they reflect the assumptions, but at the same time they try to apply science. They try to apply a positive perspective to that, and so, but that's unfolding. That is, at the moment, grants are being solicited.
Yeah.
But it's unfolding, but I think it has already acquired enough foundation to move on. And then beyond that, I'm working on a book on perception, on disfigurement mainly, as it correlates with disability.
It's a great topic.
Disability is so important and so much study. It's a vibrant field of study that I think we should also look at another aspect of it, of people reacting to what they see,
Yes.
what they hear.
Yeah.
Or as you're working on touch, aren't you?
I do, yeah. I work on the idea of perceptions of leprosy, as you do, and touch, reaching through that spatial barrier. And
that's right. It really correlates. And because what is happening now, I just read an article this morning, we're doing more and more fascinating research with DNA. And it's fascinating. And really we're finding things, Anglo-Saxon leprosy, I don't know if you saw that, tracing then with Scandinavian connections. It's exciting. China, Brazil, again, the past and the future across the globe. But I'm afraid we're sort of staring ourselves blind on the object, on the DNA, on the bones. And you and I remain interested in the people.
yes, absolutely.
Never mind in a sense what it was.
Right.
The same with plague. It's very important that we do those studies, but we don't all have to do it.
Right.
And we don't have to do just that. But it's very exciting in both areas. What we are doing, I think, has a lot to still offer. But what is going on to back it up in the facts, the archaeology, the statistics is just as exciting.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we shouldn't lose one, not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
And that's a little bit the danger now. We become too positivist, too objectively oriented, and may forget the human or humanist dimension.
The experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just finish by asking you, since we're at the 50th Congress, what sessions are you excited about seeing?
More than I can possibly attend.
Yeah.
That's always, but that's the excitement. That's again what being of European extraction or whatever else, I've always missed that in Europe. On the continent, there is no such thing. Leeds is, of course, a counterpart of this, but this I have come many times here. The first time 45 years ago. This is exciting because of its richness, its variety. The challenge is to try to catch things.
Yes.
But you're privileged to be here.
Oh,
You're
I know
lucky
it.
to be here. And I'm so glad to be here. After a number of years, we sort of stopped coming because I was getting older and too far away. But there is so much cross-fertilization going on. And so the papers I hope to attend range from, of course, one on leprosy, the leper's kiss, this afternoon, and it's a friend of mine who's giving that paper, Jennifer Edwards. What tomorrow we're looking for is a celebration of the great scholar who is here at the moment, Linda Voigt, who really should have been the one interviewed, who's really contributed more to an interdisciplinary, a humanist approach that we were talking about. And so tomorrow we're doing that, honoring her as she deserves. Then on Saturday, I'm still attending, still hoping to go to several papers. One is on Women of Antwerp, a rather X-rated subject. But so you have the mix here of the very scholarly, serious philosophy, piety, and then the other, the body, you know, or the Chaucerian, Shakespearean stuff. So I'll again pick and choose today still. In fact, one is on My Physician on Bernard of Gordon at 10 o'clock, so I have to attend that. And it'll be a pleasure to attend it. And then Saturday I'll pick and choose, and Sunday stay as long as I can, because this is absolutely invigorating. This is rejuvenating.
Yes.
Once you get here, you know, you can't get enough.
Right. All right, well, I just want to thank you so much for doing this interview, Dr. Demaitre.
Thank you very much, and good luck with your studies.
Thank you so much.
I suspect that we will be in touch.
I think so.